It's April, and here in Portland, Oregon, the weather has been warming up more and more each day. I've been busy growing seeds, planting out spring plants, and generally getting the garden ready for summer. Today I'm going to show you what I've been up to, including a little garden tour and an update on how my cottage seeds have been doing so far. Things outside are still waking up, but the tulips are out in full bloom. Our patio garden is looking very striking with the all-white tulips that I planted in fall. Every year when I go buy tulip bulbs, I wonder if the price is going to be worth it since they're not inexpensive. And every year around this time, I really enjoy having something pretty to look at in the garden. I especially love the white on white look with the tulips and lilac flowers. Last spring, I planted a bunch of foxgloves in this area that I grew from seed, and they look like they're working on making some blooms right now. I think they'll be shades of magenta since a few bloomed last year and that's what color they were. Inquiring minds have been wondering about how the bulb lasagna that I planted in fall is doing, and I'm excited to tell you that it's been a big success. Each layer has come up starting with the white squill, and then, as if perfectly timed, the layer of Prosecco daffodils came up right after the squill stopped blooming, followed by the first layer of tulips. I love how these tulips look. This layer was a mix of Triumph Apricot Impression and Darwin Cunyon tulips. I think these are the Cunyon tulips, and I especially love how the pink and peach blends into white. I think these are so pretty. The last layer is going to be Triumph Ronaldo tulips, and you can see those are just starting to poke through. The rest of the garden is just starting to grow. We got a new fence last month, so the jasmine and honeysuckle vines are starting to grow back over it. I also planted out the hollyhocks and columbine that I've been growing since last fall. I recently looked back at photos of the columbine, and I actually think that it's going to have yellow and red flowers instead of just yellow. That's a little bit of a different color scheme than I had in mind in my cottage garden planning video, but I decided to just go with it and planted them out anyway. The other thing that's going to be a little bit different from my plan is that we had a frost earlier this month and it killed most of my delphiniums that I had grown. So I only have about 1 or 2 left that I think will grow and flower. That's just how it goes sometimes, so I'll have to try again next year and protect them a little bit better from frost. All the new dahlia tubers I ordered in fall were delivered, and I planted them out into pots this year instead of directly into the ground. I also lifted some of my dahlias out of the ground last year, so I'm potting those up as well. The tubers I had stored away were a little bit spongy feeling and damp, and the paper that they were in was also damp, which is why I'm making a face in some of these shots. I'm not sure if it's because I stored them wrong and they're too damp, or if they just didn't dry out totally, and maybe it'll be okay. I potted all of these up, so we'll see what grows. About halfway through this process of soaking the tubers and then potting them up, I was really questioning why I was even doing this. I used so much potting soil for this, and it definitely didn't feel cost effective. I probably won't do this again, at least for this many tubers, but I think the benefit of potting them up first before putting them into the ground is that you can control the temperature of the pots a little bit better so they will grow faster, and then you can also control slugs and other pests a little bit easier. We'll see how it goes, and then I'll make a decision on whether it was worth it, but this was a lot more work than just putting them into the ground directly. I bought a mini greenhouse tent to put all these pots in to get them started, and then I also put some of my seedlings that have outgrown my indoor space in there too. Even though I originally bought the greenhouse for the tubers, it's really come in handy for the seedlings, and I'm really happy to have it this year. After filming my cottage garden planning video in March, I started all the seeds for my cottage garden area. It ended up being mostly cosmos, as we know from that video, and I started them all in soil blocks, which ended up working really well. Last year was the first year I started growing seeds indoors, and the plants have done so much better this year. I actually didn't expect them to do as well as they have, so they really quickly outgrew the space that I had. And I ended up buying a larger shelf so that I could have enough space to pot everything up. I bought this shelf because I thought it would perfectly fit under this storage shelf that's already on the wall, but the dimensions were off and it definitely did not fit. We ended up taking the shelf off the wall so that this shelf would fit better, and I think it's going to look so much nicer over here. It's almost the end of April now, and a lot of the plants are living outside in the tent because they completely outgrew this shelf as well. I've basically been playing a huge game of Tetris with all the plants I have. I still can't believe how well everything grew this year. After my soil blocking video, I changed up my recipe, and I think that really helped everything. I want to do another video on soil blocking now that I have the hang of it, so stay tuned for that. One more new thing from this month is that I picked up 2 willow trellis plant supports so that I can add a little bit more height to this side of the garden. I'm not totally sure which way is up or if it even matters. I think I like it here with the pointy side up a little bit better. I'm not sure if I'm going to grow sweet peas or nasturtiums on them yet, but if I could get either of those to grow on there, I think it'd be pretty cool. I think it's really going to add to my cottage garden feel. I'm a little concerned my nasturtiums are too small to be able to grow that big in one season, so I might end up buying a few at the nursery. I think the area where I want the trellis is a little bit too full sun for sweet peas, but we'll see. So that's my April garden update and how everything is going. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I hope that you're all enjoying the spring season and taking really good care of yourself. See you next time.